Wish TV's Dick Wolfsie is retiring at the end of the week. We wanted to take a look back at some of his most memorable moments. In 2007, the Children's Museum of Indianapolis opened the Power of Children exhibit. One of those children featured is Ruby Bridges. In 1960, at the age of 6, she became the first black child to integrate to the Louisiana school system. Dick Wolfsie spoke with her teacher.
In 1960, I took a test along with the other black kindergartners.
Barbara Henry sits and watches a replay of history. The story of Ruby Bridges, a 6-year-old little girl who in 1960 became the symbol of school integration in New Orleans. Barbara was her teacher.
I thought I would just be teaching a class that was to be integrated with a black child or two. I had no idea.
And Ruby was her only student. Asked to teach Ruby, Barbara Henry didn't understand its implications.
Would that make any difference to you? And I thought, how strange that would be to ask a teacher. Why would you ask me that question, you know?
Then she drove up for the first class.
I was really stunned to see the enormity of the crowd and the protesters, the police.
Now she sits in a classroom, a recreation by the Children's Museum for their exhibit, The Power of Children. Both she and Ruby felt the isolation almost 50 years ago.
To have no children to spend your day with, to know you're coming to school and there's no one you're going to be able to share a happy story or a sad story with. I'm sure the isolation was much heavier on her.
2, 4, 6, 8, we don't want to integrate.
To this day, Mrs. Henry is puzzled by the hatred.
I wasn't aware of the enormity of the antagonism to integration that would come from a faculty. I'd never experienced that in my life, and so it was really a shock to me.
Integration was politically controversial, but this was an innocent little girl.
How could you be so indifferent to one human being, especially a child? You know, she was so beautiful, so sweet, so dear.
The two were out of touch for almost 3 decades, and that all changed one day.
The phone rang, and on the other end of the phone was this fabulous voice. "Hello, Miss Henry." And I knew, you know, that was she. And, oh, Ruby Nell, you know, I can't believe this is a dream come true.
Like Jackie Robinson, Ruby Bridges seemed destined for her place in history.
I think she was a child of extraordinary gifts, and I'm thrilled today to think that the whole world knows what only I knew in 1960.
I'm Dick Wolfsie for 24 Hour.
It's an amazing love story. I think it's a love story.
News 8.
And we'll have another story from the archives tomorrow, celebrating Dick's 30 years at Wish TV. Then on Friday, July 31st, join us at 6:30 in the evening for a half hour of fun and special guests honoring Dick's career.